Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in West Roxbury. My name is Ryan Woods, and I proudly serve as the Parks Commissioner for the City of Boston. Thank you. We are here for an important day to celebrate, honor, and commemorate. As you may know, in 1994, the city reclaimed this former Gardner Street landfill as a park using land excavated from the Big Dig. The new park was officially opened by Mayor Menino on December 7th in the year 2000. Current park features, as you well know, 25 acres of multi-use sports fields, parking, 6 miles of walking, jogging, and bike pathways, nature trails, and soon to be a newly renovated playground. The park is especially popular with bird watchers due to the restoration of natural habitats and with animals for naturalized slopes, native grasses, and plantings. It's also popular for paddlers who have direct access to the Charles River, thanks to the canoe and kayak launch. It's also, as you can see today, the home of Parkway Youth Soccer. So we're very glad to celebrate on their Family Fun Day. And to speak on behalf of Parkway, we'd like to welcome to the podium Tony Serafin, a good family friend of the Menino family, to say a few words.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. We've been doing this, that's our 36 years, if people have been with us, doing the cookout in the same date. And I always talk to God not to rain on those days, you know. And so people ask me, am I a friend of the Mayor Menino? Am I here part of Parkway Soccer? And they asked me to speak a couple things about explaining what's happening for us. So I met the Mayor Menino in 1981. I met him in Roslyn there when he was still city councilor. And I still have very few English words to speak, but he's still able to spend time with me. And at the end, he convinced me, he said, City of Boston is really good. You're gonna make it okay, but get involved. And that word stuck in my head, get involved. Move forward after that, I have my firstborn was in 1982. About 4.5 years old, my wife said, get involved, the same word. So we met at that time who people know. Today I see a lot of people remind me about first days of soccer. So 8 coaches, maybe 9, met in my house in those days for a few days, for the first 2 years. We meet and by manual write the name of the kids on a piece of paper, have a list, and people take the list with their hand. That was the Parkway Soccer League. And 2 years passed, we went from 225 people, kids playing in soccer, to 800. That when I needed the help of my wife to write software for me, how to run the organization. So we start coordinating soccer, and since then we never look back. And thank you very much. So Mayor Menino, every opening day comes to soccer. I tell him, don't come, there's nothing opening day. We've been busy, there's nothing here. No, I wanna come. And he walk with me. Who's this guy? Who is this coach? What is his name? Walk with me everywhere. This field here needs to be fixed. I should send somebody for tomorrow for that. Every opening day, he used to come for that. And now we have Mayor Wu. She have to be here every because her kids is here every opening day. So we're not gonna miss much, except she's gonna be talking to Joyce. And Joyce, thank you very much for all you do right now. And also don't forget her husband was co-president with me a couple years ago. And I'm gonna thank the 2 current presidents, co-president also, Mark Sullivan and Murphy, you know, right now. So those are currently the running soccer. They still respect me. I am one of the founders, they call me. And that's how we went from there to here. Now, one of those days walking with Marino on the Heinz Field, and he saw we start the game in Heinz Field. We had to start the game at 7 a.m. in the morning. We had to close at 7 p.m. Only hour, every hour we have games going. Only the field's so small. So I tell him, where are we gonna go? He told me, keep it going. He said, I can't keep it going. There's no room. I have a problem. He said, I'm gonna introduce you to someone. He introduced me to Alice Hennessy. He said to me, she gonna solve your problem. And now you guys seeing the results of that. These parks here remind us how beautiful the city of Boston, and if we get involved, we can make things done. if we get involved through sport, through recreation. Again, I'm gonna abuse using the word for Mayor Menino. He said to me once, said, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna stop. He said, don't do that. Your program is the best program after school program. You have no idea how much you're helping me doing that. So that's what we see today. This field here and the dedication today is forever to remember. If you get involved and for the good people, for us, that's what we're gonna remember forever. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, that's what Mayor Menino and Alice Hennessy left for us. And for that, I wanna introduce the person, our ex-councilor, and the person who helped me and helped us all to pass this resolution into the city council, right? And you were the leader for that for us, our ex-councilor, Matt O'Malley. Come on.
Mayor, next. Thank you, Tony. Keep it going for Tony Seraphin, everybody. 12 years ago, right around this time, it was actually July 4th week, when my predecessor, John Tobin, announced he wasn't seeking re-election. My first call, true story, was to Mayor Menino, who instructed that my second call be to Alice Hennessy, and then Tony was my third call. So once you have that troika with you, you cannot lose. I am so delighted to be with each and every one of you on this incredibly beautiful late spring, early summer day as we commemorate Menino Fields and Hennessy Playground. Most of us are incredibly lucky that we were in the orbit that included Tom Menino and Alice Hennessy, two people who exemplified public service better than anyone else I've ever met, better than any people I've ever met in my entire life. Tom Menino was the first mayor that I truly remember as mayor growing up in this city, and he inspired me to get into public service. And I met Alice through him, through my work on the council, and she taught me how to execute public service. They were such a dynamic pair, the two of them. I won't say that they couldn't be more different, because they were very, very alike in many, many ways, but they just complemented each other so well. Mayor Menino, who could be tough sometimes, but had a heart as big as the city that he loved, and Alice, who was small but mighty and wielded power better than anyone I've ever seen. Just picture this tiny, thin woman with a hard hat on, making sure, checking all the dump trucks as they came up here with the dirt to make sure that it wasn't RCS level 2 contaminated dirt, because she wanted to make sure that this place was safe and thriving for generations to come. And it is. This was a landfill when I was growing up. The only things I remember about the Parkway were the landfill, the Heartland, and Hunan Pagoda, which was a great little restaurant. And now, because of the work of Mayor Menino and Alice, my daughter will grow up playing soccer on these very fields. It is such a remarkable thing. People said it couldn't be done. We all know the negativity that can consume the public process sometimes, and this was controversial, believe it or not. But through sheer force of will, Mayor Menino and Alice made this happen. So I'm so delighted to be with each and every one of you. Thank you, Tony, for those words. I was incredibly proud on my waning days on the council to put this resolution through. Then Councilor Wu was a huge partner in making it happen, and then as mayor, she executed it. Special shout out to Representative Ed Coppinger and Senator Mike Rush, who were huge partners on this as well. And I will just close with this, why this is such a special moment for all of us. One of the days, I had 4 years that I served on the council with Mayor Menino. I pulled in to the parking lot one day just as his Explorer was pulling into his spot. And for those that know, and many of you do, I see a lot of Team Menino alumni network here. The councilors park in the garage right next to the horseshoe. So I parked my car, was walking into the hall. Mayor Menino's getting out of his, and he says to me, "What are you doing here?" I didn't know how to respond to that question. I stuttered and I said, "Mayor, I'm going to work." He said, "The work doesn't happen in this building. The work happens in the coffee shop and the supermarket and the soccer fields. That's where we get the work done." So how incredible that these soccer fields, where a generation of young people, young Bostonians, are going to play because of the foresight, the energy, and the vision of one of the finest mayors who has ever served anywhere in the United States, Tom Menino. Mrs. Menino, thank you for your service. To the Hennessy family, we are so grateful for Alice's service, and I am so delighted to be with each and every one of you. And I now have the incredible honor of introducing the woman who made it happen, someone who is an exceptional leader in her own right, and one of like many of us, learned government through a master class by working with Mayor Menino. Please join me in welcoming our incredible mayor, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Thank you, Councillor O'Malley. It was incredibly meaningful to spend some time in our former councillor's last official days in office, and the one thing that he wanted to make happen was to make sure that we could get a commitment, and so we got to have an incredibly special meeting that I will never forget in that office about this very day and mapping that out. As Matt mentioned, Mayor Menino planted many seeds in the course of his incredible legacy serving this city. Physical seeds that have grown into lush landscapes that we enjoy all throughout Boston and that our kids play on, and the people too who have grown up because of his willingness to open the door, give someone a chance who never otherwise would have had a way into city government, because he saw something about wanting to serve the community. And for me, and Matt and I always shared that on the council, and as others who were on the council left us, right, like Sal Matina and many others who also came from the same stock. State Representative Aaron Michaelwitz also comes from this very same family of seeds that were planted. The myth has grown. So Tony had asked me right before we started this, I just want to get this right. You served in Mayor Menino's cabinet, right? I was an intern, a baby intern in the office, but it made such a difference to me and in my life and how I see the world, how I see the city, and the shoes that I feel are the weight placed on me as I strive every day to do just a little bit of what Mayor Menino worked to do every day. We're joined here by so many who serve the city in many, many sectors and industries, have changed our communities because of connections to these families, the Hennessy family, the Menino family, and the deep love for this city that we all share. Would everyone who is a Menino alum raise your hand here? Thank you everyone for what you continue to do all across the city. We're so proud to be connected in this way. You heard a little bit about how transformational this decision was all those years ago, to take what was only as good as for receiving trash and garbage and turn it into a dream, a vision that one day families and kids could gather, spend time, grow. Couples could take walks along these paths together at dusk and take in some of the most amazing views of the city and this area. It's something that many would have given up on. A humongous task at that time. And to know from this seat now how hard it is to move things, big and small, it is just an incredible reminder of what's possible in this city when we are committed to leaving what we have a little better for those who are going to come after us. And so to Alice's family, I got to spend time mostly with Alice in her capacity then, having become a regular at the South End Seniors meeting later on. And to the Menino family, thank you so much for your unrelenting vision, your willingness to share so much of your lives with this city, and that fierce belief that we will carry forward every day, that we can do more, and that it is our responsibility to do more so that the next generation and the one after that will have the treasures and the results that we can only dream are possible for them today. So we're very honored to be here for this special presentation. Is there anyone else on the speaking program? Okay, great. And so I would like to invite up to share a few words of someone who is a hero of mine, and so many across the city, Mrs. Angela Menino.
Thank you, Mayor Wu. You get it? Okay. Thank you, Mayor Wu, Commissioner Woods, Councilor O'Malley. Councilor, I was honored to receive your call last year about naming this special place after my husband. But nothing touches me more than actually being here today. Tommy would have loved this day with all of the families and children playing in this wonderful park, all created by strong leaders who had a vision for this city that always kept people at the center of their work. My husband and our great friend Alice Hennessy led the way for the spectacular transformation of this once little dump. I remember often seeing them both talking loudly and directly with each other on how and what needed to happen next to secure the dirt from the big dig that was necessary to cap this site and create this new green space for our community. And a hard-fought fight it was. But when it was done, he enjoyed asking Alice often, every time he saw her, "What did you see up there?" And she would rattle off the birds and other wildlife that had made their way back to our city here in Millennium Park. The Big Dig was transformational for our city in so many ways. However, it took strong vocal leaders with creative ideas to capture the full benefit from that historic project. Some in our city thought the dirt was for sale, but Tommy knew long before it was fashionable to say that it was the people's dirt and should be used for the benefit of not just those in downtown, but also for those who lived and raised families in our neighborhoods. So he and his partner in progress, Alice Hennessy, drove an idea into a plan that today continues to offer all people of this city the beauty of nature, fresh air, and grass for acres that they can enjoy today and for generations to come. Thank you again for this wonderful honor in naming the fields here after our mayor, Thomas M. Menino. Our family is grateful to this city for all you do to continue his legacy of helping one another. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Menino. In addition, I think we called out, we have Representative Mikowitz, Representative Coppinger, and Senator Rush. We've also been joined by Sheriff Steve Tompkins, our City Councilor Julia Mejia, and City Councilor Ricardo Arroyo. So thank you for joining us as well. We're very excited for our first part of this renovation to be a new playground and accessible pathways. This new playground will have features for 2 to 5-year-olds as well as a 5 to 12-year-old section. And very appropriately, I think for Alice, it's a nature-based themed playground with a birdhouse playhouse, a bouncing canoe, balance logs, a treehouse themed bird nest slide, rock climbers, ample seating, and accessible paths and planted entryways. We're so glad to be joined by members of the Hennessy family. So now on behalf of their family, I invite Sean to come up and say a few words.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Tony, for all you do with Parkway Soccer to provide a safe and programming for all these future World Cup contenders. On behalf of my family, we're just profoundly grateful and really kind of awestruck at this honor. Alice would be humbled. Alice would also be thrilled that finally Boston has elected a woman mayor to lead our city. It was a lifelong dream of hers, especially a mayor who is an advocate for and a champion of all those causes that Alice held dear. Accessible, welcoming, inviting, public places, playgrounds, public parks, a place where kids from all of our neighborhoods and throughout Greater Boston can come and play soccer, fly a kite, see bluebirds, see hawks, see beaver, see deer, all within the confines of the city. So we're profoundly grateful for Mayor Wu's leadership and for making this happen. We're also quite grateful to Mrs. Menino, Mayor Menino, her family, for all you've done and continue to do for our city. It's inspiring. Of course, Matt O'Malley, whose dogged determination to see this initiative through the process was just exemplary, and we're profoundly grateful. And of course, to all of Alice's friends, colleagues, supporters from West Roxbury and throughout the city. You were like her extended family. She was everyone's mother, and I think she loved all of us unconditionally. And I think you can feel Alice's love here in Millennium Park today and every day. So thank you very much for this honor.
If some of Sean's family would join him and the mayor, we're going to do an official unveiling of the sign.
Okay, unveil.